I'm Grace Cowell.
I'm Grace Curtis.
And you're watching G2 News.
Lights. Camera.
Action!
On April 15th, war erupted in Sudan. At the heart of this war is General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, leader of the Sudanese Armed Forces and chief of the Power Sharing Council, and General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, leader of the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group. The two leaders worked together in 2019 to overthrow Omar al-Bashir, the country's previous dictator.
Following the coup, the two leaders agreed to convert Sudan to a fully civilian-run government. In 2021, al-Burhan dissolved the council and declared the introduction of elections in 2023.
Until recently, the two generals have been negotiating the details of the government until a turning point on the 15th when violence began.
Al-Burhan gave up on negotiating and accused Dagalo of treason against the country and instigation of a rebellion. Fighting in the region has also involved Arab militias and ethnic Darfuri tribes.
Over the course of the past few weeks, more than 500 people have been killed and more than 4,200 have been wounded. In northern Khartoum, fighting has left civilians without basic resources and no way out.
Sudan's healthcare system is on the verge of collapse, with staff numbers dwindling and life-saving medicines becoming more rare by the day. A hospital supported by Doctors Without Borders was able to support the lack of medical care, however, it was recently looted.
The United Nations is working diligently to assist Sudan in any way they can. The UN Refugee Agency is attempting to assist tens of thousands of Sudanese citizens who are trying to flee Sudan. Over 10,000 people have successfully crossed into neighboring nations, and around 75,000 people have been internally displaced.
Despite the recent 75-hour peace announcement, large attacks are still ensuing in the cities of Sudan, with thousands of homes having been destroyed.
Along with thousands of Sudanese citizens, hundreds of American diplomats and citizens have been displaced in Sudan with no way to get home.
On Thursday, March 30th, a Manhattan grand jury voted to indict former President Donald Trump on 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. With this indictment, Trump has become the first former president to face criminal charges.
Trump was called to New York City and arraigned on Tuesday, April 4th. Also on this day, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin L. Bragg Jr. released an announcement about the indictment.
DA Bragg said, quote, "The people of the state of New York allege that Donald J. Trump repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal crimes that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election," end quote.
In the courtroom, Trump pleaded not guilty to all charges against him and has continued to deny any allegations. He said in a statement, quote, "This is political prosecution and election interference at the highest level in history," end quote.
If charged, Trump could face a maximum of 4 years in prison. However, these charges are the lowest category of felony charges in New York.
Whether he is convicted or not, Trump will still be allowed to continue his campaign for the 2024 presidential election. Recently, developer David Bramble announced new plans for the renovation of Baltimore's Inner Harbor.
As he heads the Harbor Place project to redevelop this Maryland landmark, Bramble plans to add more local tenants and help bring back arts festivals this summer to showcase local creativity and community.
The Harbor Place mission centers primarily around making the harbor more economically stable, accessible, and environmentally sustainable.
As the city has struggled in the past few years, Baltimoreans are supportive of efforts to rebuild. However, they hope developers keep many of the landmarks and structures rather than tear them down to be replaced with more modern buildings.
Locals also hope to preserve the old culture of Baltimore and keep the Inner Harbor a place for everyone.
We hope you all enjoyed the final episode of G2 News.
We want to thank you for joining us over the past few months.
As always, our sources are linked in the description box below, and we encourage you to continue researching these topics and more.
If you want to follow along for the final stages of our project, our social media accounts are also linked below.
Bye!